buddies! Welcome back to another episode of Nearby Nature with your host, Becca. There are butterflies loose in my apartment. I don't know what they're doing here, I don't know how they got in, and I don't know what they want. But I decided to hop on this camera really fast and see if we can find out together what species they are. Alright, wish me luck. I'm going in. Aha! This is a spice bush swallowtail. A spice bush swallowtail is part of a big family that are called the swallowtails. The spice bush swallowtail gets its name because its favorite host plant is a spice bush. And the interesting thing about swallowtails as a family, they are actually the largest butterflies that exist in Earth. As they eat from a flower, they are actually able to flutter their wings in the process, as this one is doing. And they are the only kind of butterflies that are able to flutter while they are also eating. Butterflies are pollinators. Butterflies actually have a straw-like mouth called a proboscis. When they land on a flower, they will unravel their little straw mouth and they straw up all that delicious, yummy nectar from that flower. And when they do that, it actually helps the plant distribute or move around all of its nectar, and that helps other plants grow in the future. So butterflies and other pollinators are really, really important for our world and for our plants and our wild lands. Let's try and catch another one, shall we? Got one! This butterfly I noticed is all white. So this butterfly I'm thinking must be a cabbage white butterfly. Cabbage white butterflies are really interesting because they are actually invasive. Hold on, stop! Rebecca, what on earth does invasive mean? Rebecca, thank you so much for asking. Invasive means when a creature, either a plant or some type of animal, comes to a place where they do not originate from. So for instance, the cabbage white butterfly probably originated or came from Eastern Europe. Then somehow, probably by accident, its eggs were distributed, which means they were brought and moved all over different parts of the world. Somehow, the cabbage white butterfly was able to get into North America. And once it was here, it didn't have any predators or anything that wanted to eat it. And so it was able to grow as a population out of control. Cabbage white larvae or babies love to eat cabbage, obviously, broccoli, and other crops or plants that humans really like to eat. They do take away food from humans, and humans will spend a lot of money per year trying to get rid of some cabbage butterflies and other insects that are thought to be invasive. Once cabbage white butterflies turn from larvae or babies into adults, they will prioritize or choose flowers that are blue or purple or yellow. Excuse me, Rebecca, I have a really important question. How does a butterfly change from a baby or larva to an adult? I'm so glad you asked. Butterflies start their lives as caterpillars, and as caterpillars, their only job in the whole world is to eat as much as they can and feast on the leaves and the plants of wherever their eggs were laid. When the caterpillar has eaten enough leaves, what it will do is wrap itself in a hard shell or case known as a chrysalis to protect the changing caterpillar. Inside, the caterpillar is breaking down completely. It's almost eating itself. It will then rebuild itself up into be a butterfly. It is so fascinating. And when you look at a cocoon, you really can't tell anything of what's going on in there. You might think that the caterpillar was just taking a nice little nap, but actually it is undergoing the transformation of a lifetime. I see another butterfly that I'm gonna try and capture. Got it. Now this butterfly is extremely special. It is a monarch butterfly. And for me, I know it's a monarch right away because it has these orange and black stripes and it looks like a tiger if a tiger was much tinier and had beautiful tiger wings. Monarch butterfly caterpillars eat only milkweed. Milkweed is a very special native plant to the US, which means it belongs here and grows here and originates or comes from here. Now this here is the leaf of a milkweed plant. I'm going to break open this plant and I want you to see up close what comes out of it. Take a look at that little white substance that's coming out at the end of the stem there where I broke it. It turns out the milkweed liquid is toxic or poisonous. Monarch caterpillars eat this milkweed only, and that way they are actually poisonous to predators or things that would eat them. Even when it turns into an adult, a monarch butterfly is still very poisonous to predators that would normally want to eat butterflies. Becca, how does a predator know if the butterfly is poisonous? Why wouldn't they eat it anyway? I'll tell you, Rebecca. In the wild, bright colors like orange or red or yellow is well known to mean I am dangerous. Don't touch me and don't eat me unless you want to get really, really sick. When an animal has these bright colors on their bodies, this is called aposematic coloring. It speaks a language to other animals. The monarch butterfly has these special bright orange and black colors. Tells other creatures, like for instance birds, don't eat me. You will regret it. So we know from last week that a lot of birds migrate, but also you might be surprised to know that monarch butterflies migrate too. They will migrate all the way from Canada all the way thousands and thousands of miles down to Mexico. This butterfly will start its migration and along the way it will lay eggs, it will die, and its babies will then hatch, turn into monarch butterflies, and will continue the migration up to Canada. So it is a very long migration that takes a lot of life cycles of these butterflies to complete. What even are butterfly wings made of? Butterfly wings are made up of thousands of tiny, tiny little scales that cover the entire wing and make them able to fly. If you are ever in the mood to try and catch a butterfly, what I would suggest is putting a little bit of sugar water on your hand and allowing the butterfly to come on over and find your hand all by itself. You might even be able to see it unravel that proboscis straw mouth to suck up some of that water in your hand. A butterfly's wings are so fragile, which means they are really easily broken. So we always want to try and get the butterfly to come to us instead of us reaching out to grab it. Nature buddies, that is the end of this episode of Nearby Nature with Becca. Thank you for tuning in with me today and learning about my butterfly friends. What can I say? I guess I've become a hotel for butterflies. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Please feel free to email me at nearbynaturephilly@gmail.com with any suggestions for future topics or questions that you might have for me after this lesson or any of the others, and I cannot wait to continue to learn with all of you. So, from me and my new friends here, I hope you have an absolutely beautiful, wild, and exciting outdoorsy day.